Ahora es que me la da, voy a ver mover, es que me la da, voy a ver mover, es que me la da, voy a ver mover, es que me la da, voy a ver mover. Ahora
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat.
Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, March 7th. Like always, I'm your guy, Hector, hanging out with my compadre this morning. I got my guy, TC Stills. And all you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. TC, how are you feeling this morning, big fella?
I'm feeling a little jealous, man. I'm feeling a little jealous of this guy right over here. Look at Gary Sheffield shades on and hanging out in Florida, hobnobbing with Celso and Phil and watching Yankee games, man. I'm a little jealous, man.
Jacob,
jealous.
just so you know, Jacob, I have not taken these shades off ever since I landed. I wear them in the shower. I wear them when I eat breakfast. I wear them at the gas stations, and I wear them to brush my teeth. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Let's do a little bit of the roll call before we continue. Anna Marie is in the building. My guy Double A was in the building. Double A came out yesterday with us to the game against Tampa. Even though we lost, it was still great to see Double A. Shout out my guy Double A in the chat. Who else we got in the building? We got our guy Old Sarge is in the building. Mike Perez is in the building. Mikey Perez, how you doing? Salute, salute, salute. We got Anthony Medina in the building. Mi hermano de la Isla is in the building. Appreciate you. We got big time Jerry Cadell is in the building. JT is in the building. Jonathan is in the building. Big Time said, good morning, Hector and Todd. I hope all is well with you guys. It's time for some morning brew. Go get your coffee real quick, and let's talk Yankee baseball.
Real quick, Hector, the chat, shout out Big Time Jerry. He just turned 77 on Monday. Wish him a happy birthday. Healthy. Happy birthday. He's just loving the Yankees. Big Time. We love you, brother.
Big time.
Brother.
Happy birthday, Pops. Jerry. Love you, Pops. Appreciate you. G-Man for life is in the building. My guy G-Man is in the building. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Norman Soto is in the building. From Puerto Rico, from the island where my family call home. FL Diver's in the building. My guy FL Diver. Appreciate all of you guys. If you guys can, please smack the like button and hit the subscribe button as well. We are sitting at 3,778 subscribers. So we are on our way to 4K. So help us out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, help us bring in more Yankee fans to join the conversation. But TC, we got to talk about it. It is the hot button issue. Carlos Rodon, he hasn't looked like what we was promised when it comes to Rodon. I get it, injuries aside, but I got a clip here. This is from last year. This is from you guys over at WFAN, but we got a clip because I think most Yankee fans, this is how we feel right now when it comes to Carlos Rodon.
Hey, Carlos! This ain't Anaheim anymore, pal. You're in the Bronx tonight. You want to blow kisses? Kiss my fat ass.
And I think that's the energy I'm going to have as a Yankee fan, right? I know that was from last year, but Carlos Rodon, you got the money, right? I know health aside, I was just on NFE show. Shout out to my guy NFE. And I brought up the fact at least Carlos Rodon his pitching right now in spring training, because last year he wasn't. He was on the IL, and I get it. His starts right now in spring training, it's still spring training, but it gets amplified and it gets blown up or blown out of proportion under a microscope because of how bad he was last year. Because we lost out. We didn't get Yamamoto. We didn't add a number 2 behind Garrett Cole. So there's some added expectations and pressure on Carlos Rodon. What's your thought, TC?
Yeah, and that's the thing, that there's going to be a lot of pressure, especially if he comes out, game 1 and lays an egg. Oh, the Yankee fans can get all over him. And that's the key to our season. Our big key to the season is Carlos Rodon healthy and being that number 2 behind Garrett Cole. Because without that, the rest of the staff, there's a lot of question marks. So with Rodon coming back, it's huge. I mean, the offense is revamped, but we gotta have Carlos Rodon like he was 2-3 years ago. And if not, if he comes out and does what he's doing in spring training, it's bad news. It's bad news for the Yankees. But I'm not panicking yet. It's only been 2 starts. Not panicking yet. He's figuring out his pitches. I know he's working on this cutter. So if it's maybe his last start and it's still the same, it's time for concern. But right now, don't hit the panic button yet, Yankee fans. Give him a little more time. And I think he's going to come out and impress when the opening days, when his start comes up.
I think with Carlos Rodon, it's a mixture of mechanics and injury with the back, right? Shout out to Johnny Lasagna over there with NYYU. He just joined the team, but he did a phenomenal breakdown of Carlos Rodon, comparing Rodon from last year to what he was with the San Francisco Giants. And back when he was with the Giants, he was able to get a certain torque when it comes to his back, throwing the pitch to home plate. Now with his back injuries, he's not able to get that same torque that he once did when he was with the Giants. So that's why you see the velocity tick down on his fastball. And when you have a 3-pitch mix or a 2-pitch mix like Carlos Rodon, fastball, slider, and cutter, those are 3 pitchers that are on the same plane. They may at the end dart away or go to the other side, but they're on the same plane, and there's only like a 4 to 5 mile per hour difference between those 3 pitches. Carlos Rodon this season, he has to utilize his breaking pitch, that curveball, a lot more than what he did last year. I think last year he threw the curveball 13% of the time. The year before, when he was with the San Francisco Giants, he threw that curveball 22 or 23% of the time. That's what Carlos Rodon has to get back to. He can't just be a fastball, cutter, slider pitcher, because his fastball is 94, 93 miles per hour. He's not throwing that 98, 99 anymore. He has to mix in his pitches, even if he can figure out a changeup, just so it sits in the back of the hitter's mind so he can keep them off balance.
Yeah, that's the key. Yeah, no, he needs to work on a changeup. He's going to have to mix that in. He's got to get guys off that fastball. And fastball slider, that doesn't work too well as a starter. Have 2 pitches. You got to have. I'd say at least 4 pitches. I mean, you got to have that put away pitch. But he's been able to get away with it. That cutter, it's just like a flat fastball. I mean, if they're sitting on it, yesterday, first pitch, home run. I mean, come on, Rodon, you gotta be better than that. So he's got some work to do. He's got to get his confidence back, like you said, with the back, feeling healthy. But again, he's ahead of schedule than last year, which is good. And hopefully he can make it through the spring and be healthy. Yeah.
I got some chats that I want to bring up from the amazing community that we have over here at Yankees Morning Brew. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Rod Thompson in the building. Rod, how you doing? And yes, he's right. Carlos needs to get his confidence back. Whatever he needs to do to build back on it, he needs to bring that confidence, that swagger he once had when he was with the Giants, because that's what made him so attractive. Yes, the pitching aside, he was an awesome pitcher with the San Francisco Giants, but that attitude, that fire is what Yankee fans were more excited for, to add that to the starting rotation. And when you look at it, over the past few years, the Yankees have tried to add character pieces. Josh Donaldson didn't work out. Carlos Rodon, year 1, didn't work out. Hopefully in year 2, Carlos Rodon can fix things up. Anna Marie brought it up. Rodon, he has to thrive You got to thrive under the pressure. Not everyone can handle New York City and the bright lights. Absolutely, Anna Marie. L.I. Yankee King said, what fans don't understand when it comes to Carlos Rodon is that he can't be a pure thrower. I literally just said that anymore. He has to turn into a pitcher who is 31 years old. He is not 24 or 25. He has to make that transition, and he has to make adjustments. That's a great point, L.I. Appreciate that. Double A says, Hector, Rodon can throw a wrench in our championship plan. We can't have good hitting, but suck at pitching. No way, Jose. Double A, I agree with you. And then I got Acevedo with the last one. They have Carlos working on too many pitchers. They should just pick one and add it to the two he already have, because his velo will be affected by it. Not only his velo, but it's his control as well, Acevedo. And that was a great chat.
But that's what you do in spring training, though, is that you work on your pitches.
You're supposed to work on that. Yeah.
You don't want to be doing that during the season. So
I want to shout out some people that joined us in the chat late. My guy, Nathan Ramachandra from the NNR Hour. Nathan, it's amazing out here. Nathan, this past Sunday, he was with Darryl Strawberry over at the Woodbridge Brewing Company. And folks, if you guys are in the tri-state area, Woodbridge, if you guys can make it out to Woodbridge, New Jersey, they do amazing events when it comes to meet and greets and autograph signings with former players and current players, whether it's the MLB, NBA, NHL, whatever it is, Woodbridge has it. So make sure you follow them on all social medias and get out there and go have a good time. I want to bring something up because I have some quotes from Carlos Rodon, and this is from Brian Hoke. Shout out to Brian Hoke. Carlos Rodon called today's start, talking about yesterday, one of the days that you've got to be able to pitch without the fastball and kind of use some other things. That was a good to fill that in a game that no one really gives a crap about because it doesn't matter. It's spring training. And that's what I have an issue with. Because the first part of that sentence, I thought he hit it spot on. It's one of those days that you got to be able to figure out how to pitch without having a fastball. I agree with that. But you then can't go on to say, well, it's just a game that nobody gives a crap about because it doesn't matter. It's spring training. We get it. You don't win a championship in spring training. Your spring training record does not affect your regular season record. But when I am a fan that I go to spring training and I buy a ticket and I spend money to fly down here to Tampa and spend money on Airbnb, when we do all of this to come down here to watch our Yankees, it's kind of not alarming, but it doesn't make me confident as a ticket purchaser, as somebody that buys from your product, when you have your players saying that we don't give a crap about the game. Then what about all the fans that showed up to George M. Steinbrenner Field yesterday that was out there on the practice field at 9 o'clock in the morning with me? We were out there at 9 in the morning. The game starts at 1. Fans, we were filing up 9 o'clock in the morning. They care about the game, Carlos.
Of course they do.
Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I mean, we're here to see these players, and these players are getting paid regardless whether spring training, postseason. That you're getting paid to play a kid's game. Come out and have some enthusiasm. That these people are here to see you, regardless. It's spring training. I get it. You're working on stuff, but there's also guys on this team that some of the prospects, like Spencer Jones, Chase Hampton, it means something to them to be here, to participate with the big club and make a statement as far as trying to make the team. I mean, some are here just to show their talents. The roster's pretty much all set, but to come out and say that, it doesn't mean crap, or I don't care. Come on. I mean, you're still in front of fans that want to see you. You can't go out there and just I'm just going to give it 50%. You got to give it your all. You're in the game. What is he going to pitch? 2 innings? I mean, come on, 2 innings. Give it your all. Figure it out. Show these people, because you're already leaving a bad taste in these people's mouths, these fans' mouth from last year. To come out and say this and the performance you're putting up in the first 2 games, it doesn't sit well. It doesn't sit well. So he's really digging himself a grave right now. So you better show up next start. Yeah, because these fans are getting antsy. It's like I said earlier, it's not time to panic, but we're getting a little anxious. Come on.
We definitely are. And shout out to my guy Chris N that is in the chat. Shout out to Chris. Folks, if you guys aren't following Chris on
got
Twitter,
it, Rich.
make
Bret
sure you guys
Hart. There's Bret Hart right there.
Shout out to my guy Richie Rivera from Empire State of Baseball,
the
who is in the
Hitman
building as well. My guy 19 Comment is in the building. I got somebody else backstage because I sent the link out to the other Yankee creators that are in this space, right? So we could talk Yankees. So I sent it out to Mazza. I sent it out to NFE. I sent it out to Jason as well for 161. So we're going to have those guys join us. We're going to have a conversation about what we're talking about right now. And then later on towards the end of the show, we're going to switch it up. We're going to throw the open panel link out there so everybody could join us in the conversation. So I'm going to bring up my first two guys to join us. I got NFE and Mikey Mazza. Let me get a thumbs up, fellas, and I'll bring you guys in. All right, got the thumbs up. Let me bring my guys in. And also, we got over 100 people watching us right now. If you guys are watching us on Twitter, on Facebook, or on Instagram, click the link in the bio and jump on over to YouTube to join this amazing community and join this conversation. And if you guys can, please smack the like button. We are sitting at 30 likes. We got over 100 people in the building, so run the likes up. I'm going to throw it over to my guy, NFE. NFE, what's your thoughts on the words from Mr. Hold on, I'm gonna just mute Mazza right now until his connection's better. Let me just bring him down.
You're good.
Carlos Rodon, at the end of his statement yesterday, this is what he said. In a game that no one really gives a crap about because it doesn't matter. It's spring training. NFE, what's your thoughts on his statements?
I mean, it's spring training. It's their exhibition games. I mean, these guys are working on, some of their pitches. So they're making their adjustments, right? I know some folks were freaking out about how he performed yesterday. Yeah, it wasn't a great outing, but, on the bright side, and you said this a couple of times already, Hector, at least he's pitching in spring training where he didn't do that a year ago. So on the bright side, he's here. And
I just want to let Mazza know. Mazza, I see you backstage, but it keeps saying there's a connection issue. Just refresh and just rejoin the stream or see if there's Wi-Fi that you could jump on. My fault, NFE. Go ahead, brother.
No, you're good, bro. He just needs to get to a better spot. So no, I'm not. He's not wrong. Again, these are just exhibition games. I think Rodon is going to pitch fine. I don't think he pitched horribly yesterday. After he gave up that first home run in the first inning, he found his groove. He started to look good. He was getting out of the innings, but then he did give up that 2-run shot and, kind of killed his groove, but that's okay. Hopefully he improves as time goes on. And once the regular season comes around, he can be that number 2 guy in the lineup that we're hoping for, that we want. So that's my take on it.
Yeah. And L.I. Yankee King, he says, what did Rodon say was wrong? It's spring training. Like DJ Stanton, Wells, Grissom, and Verdugo are all struggling in spring training. It's not a big deal. The difference, L.I. Yankee King, is the fact that Rodon says no one gives a crap about these games. You can't tell that to the guys that are trying to make that last roster spot. You can't tell that to Rivas. You can't tell that to those to the guys that got spring training invitation, that this is their fight, or this is their chance to actually stay on a major league roster. It's kind of arrogant to say that when you got other teams that are fighting for other players that are fighting for their baseball career and their baseball life. They care about these games. You may not care about them because, like I said, they don't affect our standings, but fans that show up to the game and invest money into these games and spend money to come down from different states to stay in Florida to go to these games and watch you, when spring training, a pass for the whole spring training is $900 to go to every game for spring training. People care about these games. That's the only thing I want to say about that.
Real quick, Hector, I want to just make a point. We can say that, but a player can't say that. That's the thing. Yeah. When a player says it, don't mean, we can say, these games mean nothing. But when a player says it, it's a little, don't say that, please. That doesn't sit well with us.
Yeah, just imagine if Carl Pavano said that back in the days. Just imagine if Kevin Brown said that back in 2004. Go ahead, Anderson.
Right.
No, Hector, I wanted to say something to add to what you were saying real quick. It was just like, I don't want to say that, he shouldn't give a crap. Like, yes, it is spring training. They're exhibition games. There's things that they're working on. So we got to, we don't know what he meant by that comment, because it could have been taken out of context too, because, folks like to do that. But there is certain things that I do care about, because I want to see that you are making progress, that that we are seeing a good preview of you. Just because if you're not performing well, then there are going to be question marks. But like I said, I'm not going to panic yet about Rodon. I mean, at least he's here in spring training. So
yeah, no, definitely. And I think, and I'm gonna throw it over to Mazza after this, but I think all of us Yankee fans, we can agree when it comes to Carlos Rodon, this is the energy that I'm having until he proves us otherwise.
Hey, Carlos, this ain't Anaheim anymore, pal. You're in the Bronx tonight. You want to blow kisses? Kiss my fat ass.
And like I said, that's the energy I'm keeping with Mr. Carlos Rodon. Mazza, I'm gonna throw it over to you, brother. How you feeling?
I'm okay. Excited about this team. I mean, it is a much more exciting team than last year's. I'm very confident in this rotation. I sit on an NFE stream. The whole situation with Rodon, jump off a little bit, like back off. The guy didn't pitch in spring last year. Give him a chance to get himself right, which is what he's trying to do. Like, back off. Like, that's not. I mean, I get it. He struggled in his last start, but look at the three guys that everybody was trying to go after or wanting us to go after: Yamamoto, Burns, and Luzardo. They have a 9.4 ERA combined, while Rodon is sporting a 3.34.
Yep. And guarantee you this: if Yankee fans would have traded Spencer Jones for Corbin Burns, and this is what Corbin Burns gave us in spring training, and that's what Spencer Jones gave Milwaukee in spring training, Yankee fans will be losing their ever-loving mind. I know I would have been losing my mind seeing what Corbin Burns is doing in spring training and what we saw in the brief stint from Spencer Jones. But I want to bring something up real quick, switch up the topic, because why can't we have peace? Why is it that when the Yankee fans, we are invested into spring training, looking for this upcoming season, why is it the Met fans are in fantasy land? Shout out to my guy Keith McPherson that said this about the New York Mets. I don't make much of spring training stats and make much of spring training starts like you bozos when it comes to the Met fans. I've been making fun of the Mets for years. You guys were thirsty for Juan Soto. You didn't land Judge. You didn't land Correa. You didn't land Counsell. You didn't land Ohtani. And you didn't land Yamamoto. And I'm going to stand right there. You guys are not going to get Juan Soto. It's kind of sad that if you're going into a season, you're already giving up on your season. It's kind of sad that you're looking at another team and dreaming about their player being on your team. What's your thoughts about TC? And I'll throw it over to NFE as well. Is somebody trying to come up? Go ahead.
Yeah, the Mets are in a dream world. Soto ain't going nowhere. Soto, he's already got a taste of what it's like to be. Oh, it just Jinga. I didn't know he was there. Yeah, he got a taste already. But when he steps in the box in Yankee Stadium, he's going to feel the energy and the electricity of the crowd, and he ain't going nowhere. These Mets fans they're dreaming. There's no way he's playing for the stepchilds, across town. They're just throwing money at everyone, and they're not. None of these guys are biting on the Mets.
Shout out to my guy Richie Squires with the $10 super chat. There was nothing out of context about Rodon's comments. Absolutely. He needs a lesson of humility and just to do his work. Keep the commentary to a bare minimum. Absolutely, Rich. It's like this, TC and NFE. If you guys were working, if you guys were at your job and you had a coworker that was never able to do their job properly, always made their job horrible, and it always made your job a lot harder because you have to pick up the slack because they can't do their job. But if they were complaining about, well, it's just a job, nobody cares about it, my man, I have to pay my bills at the end of the day. I have to worry about my job, because if you keep on messing up, I may lose my job and I may lose my way of making income. My fault, TC. Go ahead. Thank you, Rich, again.
No, yeah, I mean, good comment there. No, I mean the Mets, they're just delusional. They're then, you know, they didn't look at all the players they can't get. They're just the stepchilds over there. They're not, you know, they're not going to get a Soto. Soto's not going to be on the Yankees and then want to switch over and be on the Mets. Are you kidding me? So it's, you know, that's all I got to say about that. Come on.
Yeah. NFP, what's your thoughts real quick before I get to the next comment that I wanted to pop up? Go ahead.
You're good, man. It's just hilarious that, you know, we're in spring training. We haven't even played a regular season yet. And Mets are already talking about, or the franchise, they're already talking about Juan Soto. We're not even there yet. Like, let the season play out first, and then we could start talking. Look,
yeah.
You know, and it's funny because I made a video about this yesterday, and I talked about it on my live stream this morning. Because I did open it up with Juan Soto and, you know, the Mets, you know, potentially going after him. Which, look, they have the financials to do so, but do I think that they're going to sign him? Absolutely not. I think the Yankees are going to sign him back, and it's not like the Yankees just traded for him just to trade for him, but they know that there is a risk associated with Juan Soto being a 1-year rental. They know that he's going to go out and test the free agent market, and he knows he's going to get paid. And again, you know, Hal and Cashman are going to do everything they can to sign him back. They're not going to just let him walk. I highly doubt that. They didn't give up that much capital to get him and Trent Grisham. Like, you know, because they gave up a lot, right? They gave up a lot, but rightfully so. He's a generational player. And if he, and let's just say if he does end up going to another team, I don't think they want to face Aaron Judge in the same room. You know, I don't think they want to piss off Aaron Judge and pissed off Garrett Cole. I'm just going to throw that out there because they were pissed off last year and they got smiles on their faces this year. So let's let you, if you want to keep your team happy and keep your captain happy, you're going to sign Juan Soto back. And I think the Yankees will, but it's just silly to be talking about free agency right now. We're not even there. It's going to be a long, it's a long season. It's going to be a long year. We'll worry about that when the time comes.
Just, I'm going to say this real quick. Enjoy your season. If you're a Met fan out there, just enjoy your season. Just enjoy what you have. Even if your team is going to be horrible, just go out there and enjoy your season. I've been a Knicks fan my whole life. The Knicks have sucked. They've sucked the majority of my life. But guess what? I enjoyed those seasons, and I'm enjoying the season that we have right now. I want to bring up another comment about Juan Soto. Oh, I'm going to bring Mazza back up. This is from Yankee Source on Twitter. Shout out to you, Mazza. I'll throw it over to you right after I read this. Yankee Source said Juan Soto could play for one of the greatest franchises in sports for a massive contract alongside one of the best players in sports, and that's Aaron Judge. Or he could go play for the Mets, who need a lot more than just Juan Soto to chase a World Series ring over the next several seasons. I can't see the Yankees passing on the opportunity when it comes to locking up Juan Soto for a long time. And I've been saying this, and I think we can all agree of this. I don't think the Yankees make the trade for Juan Soto if they didn't already pencil off to the side 500 and 600 million that they're willing to already give Juan Soto. I don't think the Yankees make that trade, especially when you look at the pitching prospects the Yankees gave up for Juan Soto. I don't think they make that trade without knowing from Hal Steinbrenner, hey, make that trade, and we are going to have 600 million set to the side already for Juan Soto. If we have to go over 600 million, we go over 600 million. I'm pretty sure Hal Steinbrenner already had the dollar figure in his mind before he made that trade. I'll throw it over to you, Mazza. What's your point? What's your thoughts?
So I personally think that you don't give up that much capital unless you're willing to make an offer, a sizable offer to a guy like that. At this point, if I'm the Steinbrenners, and this is just me, is I hand him a blank contract, blank check like they did with Judges, say, whatever you want, no negotiation, it's yours.
Yeah. What about you, TC?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you don't just bring him in for 1 year and with what they gave up. And you know, the guys, you know, like we've been saying, he's a you know, such a talent that you can't just let him walk. You can't. And again, he hasn't even set his foot in the Yankee Stadium for one game. So once he does that, he's gonna know this is my home. This is where I want to be. And you know, the Yankees haven't gone out and gone over that payroll like you know, like going out and getting a Blake Snell, because they know we're gonna keep our money. We got it. Our priority is Juan Soto. So that's what we're going to do. We're grooming some of the, you know, the young kids to come up and take over, you know, spots for like Glaber and Rizzo and shed some payroll so they are able to keep a Juan Soto. And Juan Soto and Judge, you build a team around that with some of the young kids that we got. I don't have a problem with that. And I think it's a recipe for success.
And I just want to say something, you know, about that. Oh, sorry, Hector.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that.
Go ahead, Monta. Go ahead.
The perfect mentor for Jason Dominguez, and I've said this over and over, is Juan Soto. So having Juan Soto there and locked up for a long-term deal, I'm okay with, because he's going to elevate Dominguez's game tenfold.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you, Mazza. That's like, just imagine, you know, when the Yankees had Alex Rodriguez, potentially, this is all hypothetical, right? But just imagine when the Yankees had A-Rod in his prime, right? 2007, 2008. If the Yankees had a young Manny Machado in the minor league system, you would want Alex Rodriguez to be that mentor for Manny Machado, just like he was for other players. So I'm just saying, hypothetically, the point that Mazza bring up, having Juan Soto being that mentor for Jason Dominguez, could be something good for the New York Yankees. I got another point that I want to bring up, right? Because I don't want Met fans to think that we're just 4 Yankee fans bashing the Mets this morning, even though it's a fun thing to do when it comes to bashing the Mets. Yeah. But I got to bring up this clip. Shout out to my guy, Evan Roberts from WFAN. He had the same thought that I had when it came to Juan Soto. I'm going to just play this quick second. Yes, his beard is green. Just ignore the green beard and just listen to what he has to say.
Let's not do this. We have a season to play. We're talking about free agents next. What are we, the NBA? What are we, Knick fans from the LeBron era? And Net fans from the LeBron. Like, what are we doing?
Can't you just let the Yankees enjoy their Soto for the season that they have?
Well, that wasn't the reason. It's not about letting. It's about.
But shouldn't they?
No.
Chill out.
It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with us.
Keep Juan Soto's name out your mouth, Met fan.
That's not the reason, though. The reason is we have a baseball season. And as down as you may be on what you think this team is going to be, can you let them suck first before you give up on the year?
You know what this is?
What?
This is having a good-looking girl and then walking by somebody else's girl and turning around and looking at her ass. That's what this is.
Well, I agree. The Mets are dating a dog right now.
But they made it perfectly, right? Just enjoy your season, and like Tiki said, keep Juan Soto's name out your mouth, Met fans. I'll throw it over to TC, then NFE, then Mazza to get their thoughts before we switch up to the next topic.
Yeah, exactly. You know, play your season out. Stop already looking over the fence at your neighbor. You know, worrying about what they got and where we're gonna steal your girl. You know, just let it play out. Just enjoy your season. You know, worry about your team. You know, talk about your players and what you're gonna do with going forward. You're the mess that you put yourself in. So you know, just forget about the Yankees already. Just move on.
Copy. NFE, what's your thoughts? And I'll throw it over to Mazza as well.
I mean, the guy said what I said. Free agency is a long ways away. Why are we talking about free agency? There's regular season still needs to be played. The postseason still needs to be played. The World Series needs to be played. So why are we talking about free agency? I don't understand. We're not there. We're just not there. So I'm going to enjoy my 1 year with Soto. I'm going to enjoy this 1 year that we have for him, and you know, we'll see what happens. We'll talk about free agency and all that. We'll cross that bridge when it's time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mazza, I'll throw it over to you to get your take.
So for me, it's the same as NFE and TC, and it's every other content creator who said it. But let the season play out. Let Soto enjoy the moment of being at Yankee Stadium. Let him enjoy getting that roll call every day from the bleacher creatures at Yankee Stadium. Let him enjoy the
bingo.
Not the moment, but the awe and the aspire of being in Yankee Stadium. Let him enjoy all of that history that's walked through those doors, walked in that clubhouse, walked on that field, and played on that field. Let him enjoy the mystique of this organization before we start talking about free agency.
Facts. No, Mazza, you well said. You hit it right on the head. And Met fans, if there's ever a time to take a page out of Yankee fans' book, listen to what I'm going to say. Yankee fans, before 2018, before 2019, before we got Giancarlo Stanton, we all thought that the Yankees were going to sign Bryce Harper. We all thought the Yankees were going to sign Manny Machado. We didn't get none of them. Don't get your hypes up, Met fans. It will not happen when it comes to Juan Soto. Yes, you have Steve Cohen that has the deepest pockets in all of Major League Baseball. We get that, right? But when it comes to if it comes down to Juan Soto just wanting the money, yeah, he most likely is going to sign with the Mets if Steve Cohen is willing to give him the most money out of anybody else. But you have to factor in the other factors. Who's in a better position to win now and keep on winning for the next 5 years? The Yankees. The Mets are trying to reestablish and redevelop their farm system. They're not ready to compete right now. They're still figuring out, do they want to sign Pete Alonso to a contract extension? The Yankees are already set in stone when it comes to that. So like my guy NFE said, and also again, make sure you guys go and subscribe to the NFE The Strike Zone. But like NFE said, free agency is not here. We shouldn't be talking about free agency. Let the Yankees enjoy what we have right now. If you're a Met fan, just watch and enjoy your season, just like Evan Roberts says.
And I want to add something real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Let's just say, look, I don't think the Yankees are going to sign Juan Soto, or not the Yankees, the Mets. Excuse me, the Mets. Even if they did, they still have a lot of holes to fill. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out. The Yankees are in a much better position. So,
can I add something on to that for a second? And Hector, you brought up about the Yankees having a better chance to win. The Mets are 4 to 5 years at minimum.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that. At minimum away from winning.
Yeah.
Because they are such a mess right now. That team has no farm system. That team has holes which we didn't even think could have holes, in places that we didn't think could have fucking holes. And where are they at right now? They are still trying to figure out the Pete Alonso situation, which you brought up, Hector. And then they got to figure out what they're going to do with their pitching, because they just lost Kodai Senga. So that pitching is a mess. So honestly, if I'm the Mets, pitching should be the number one priority.
Yeah, for me, right? I look at it as, when it comes to the Mets, major league ready prospects, they don't have much prospects that are major league ready. And shout out to Jonathan, who says we have 47 likes and we got over 130 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button and run it up. We are at 141. If you're watching on Twitter, click the link in the bio, jump on over to YouTube to Morning Brew Sports and join the conversation over here. But like L.I. Yankee King just said, the Mets, they're loaded with position players, right? But like Mazza said, those position players, they're not close to being ready to help contribute at the major league level. You have Francisco Alvarez, who came up, Brett Beatty came up, but besides that, there are other prospects who are at low A or double A. They're not ready yet. They still need more time. Maybe in the next couple of years, they could get some lightning in a bottle. But fellas, I want to switch up the conversation just a little bit, right? Because it's March 7th. And as of March 7th, we still have Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery unsigned, right? And I understand why Blake Snell hasn't signed due to his price demands. A two-time Cy Young winner. He has made his career what it is right now, and he gets the demand or try to get whatever he can for it, right? So give him credit for that. But Jordan Montgomery doesn't have the same track record at Blake Snell. So to see Jordan Montgomery still out there on the market, it's a bit alarming to me. If you're Jordan Montgomery, you should have been signed. Maybe he was waiting to see what happened with Texas and their money because he was comfortable. Maybe he thought something was going to happen with the Boston Red Sox, but the Boston Red Sox, they're a clown show. Their ownership don't want to spend money. So it's kind of tricky. Look, it's March 7th. When's the last time we've had two pitchers like this? One of them who won a World Series, and the other one who is a Cy Young winner, still out there on the market. TC, I'll throw it over to you, and then throw it over to NFE and Mikey Mazza.
Well, I think it's like all of us here on the panel and in the chat have said that their price tag does not match what their abilities are. I don't believe that Blake Snell is worth that money. He's had two Cy Young Award winning seasons. The other seasons, nothing. I mean, really poor. I mean, 120 innings max. You can't pay a guy 30+ million. That's not Garrett Cole out there. He's not a Garrett Cole. I'm not paying him that type of money. So, and there's not many teams that are gonna, dish out that kind of money. As far as Jordan Montgomery goes, he had one flash during the postseason. That's about it. His resume is, an average pitcher at best. So, and him demanding that kind of money as well. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it in Jordan Montgomery pitch, and I don't know what you guys feel, but I don't think his ability to match up to a salary like that.
Hold on, wait. I got some breaking news right now. It's hot off the press from Twitter. It's from my guy Jake from the Bronx Zoo. I think we got footage of Blake Snell running down on Scott Boras demanding for his money.
You know what? You need to relax.
Okay.
Look, why do you need your money so fast? You know what? You need to.
So yeah, Scott Boras, if you're out there, Blake Snell wants his money and he's coming for you. I got somebody backstage that I want to bring up. Let me get a thumbs up before I bring you up. And it's the one and only Uncle Grandpa Tats from the
Tats. How you doing, Tats?
Uncle Tats, how you doing? How you feeling? What's your thoughts on Blake Snell screaming that he wants his money? What's your thoughts?
Oh, that was hilarious, dude. That's it. No, that's the clip right there. No, I'm doing well. It's good to be able to jump on. It's been a little busy for me lately, but I had a few minutes. I got the new puppy. She's sleeping next to me, so
nice.
I'm like, while she's not moving and driving me crazy, let me jump on and hang out with the fam a little bit.
There you go. Got to take advantage of it, Uncle Tats. And again, folks, if you guys aren't following Uncle Tats and the Pinstripe Chronicles, what are you doing? Make sure you follow them. Make sure you follow Mikey Mazza and the 4 Trains Express. And make sure you follow my guy NFE and the Strike Zone. But Tats, it's been a minute since you've been here on the open panel, so I'll let you lead the conversation right now. When it comes to spring training right now, takeaways, what's your highs, what's your lows? I know people talked about Carlos Rodon. Where do you want to have the conversation, Tats? It's on you.
No, it's that time of year where we're going to start to see the guys that we already know are going to make the opening roster. They're going to get those extra at bats. That's why you're starting to see, the unfortunate side of it, with guys that we're all hyped up for with Spencer Jones. That's why he got sent down. They want to give the extra at bats to Judge, Soto, Rizzo, Torres, Stanton, because those guys are already locked in for the regular season. And you don't want to take away the progress from Jones and just sitting on the bench. So that's one of those, I guess it's a high and a low, because it just means we're closer to the regular season. Rodon, look, like you were saying earlier, because I've been listening, and I was listening with NFE and Mazza earlier with Jason. It's one of these where with Rodon, he's making his starts. So there's really nothing to complain about. You could be concerned by what you're seeing, but you can't complain that he's taking the ball every time they ask him to.
Yeah. No, and that's the point that I brought up earlier when I jumped on with NFE, and even to start the show. Last year around this time, Yankee fans were upset because Carlos Rodon wasn't making any starts. And like Mazza brought up, you got Corbin Burns, who is struggling right now. You got Yamamoto, who's struggling right now. You got Luzardo, who's struggling right now. There are other pitchers around Major League Baseball whose name is not Carlos Rodon, who is struggling right now in spring training because it's early and it's because it's spring training, right? And I get it. These stats, these records, they don't transfer over to the regular season, right? So on the flip side, I can see why Carlos Rodon says these games don't mean much. I can see that. But on the other side, after you had that bad season last year, you should be acting like the utmost or the most how can I say, the most generic version of like a Boy Scout. You need to be a dictionary version of a Boy Scout this year. You shouldn't get into any trouble. You shouldn't even step on any cracks. That's what you should do if you're Carlos Rodon. Just try to stay out of trouble. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, turn him into a bubble boy. Just when he's not on the mound, just wrap him in bubble wrap and just wait until the next turn. And then we'll let you out. Do what you got to do. Because that is the biggest question this offseason, and throughout this spring. How are they going to maintain their health that they're back and performing? That's going to really determine the success of this team.
Yeah,
is not the back of their baseball card. It's the numbers for 2024. And if they cannot maintain their health, they're going to have pretty crappy numbers, and the fans are not going to tolerate it.
True.
Yeah.
Go ahead, TC.
No, I wanted to hear what NFE or Amaza thought about the Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery. I wanted to get their thoughts.
Go ahead.
Mind if I go, because I got to jump off?
Yeah,
I got to get
go ahead, Maza.
Yes, and everybody in the chat, make sure you throw the birthday cake emoji in the chat because it's that guy Mikey Maz's birthday. He is 22 years old. He is finally legal age of drinking. So Mikey Maza, go out there and get your first drink on the house.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I appreciate you. So about the Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery thing, I've said it before. Don't be surprised if they sign midseason, because you know what? I agree with TC. Blake Snell, a guy who's only thrown 180 innings twice in his career, both times he won the Cy Young, and a guy who can't pitch past the fifth inning is not worth $270 million. Let's get real here. Come back down to earth. I get it. He's won 2 Cy Youngs, both in the National and American leagues, but he is not worth $270 million.
No.
Jordan Montgomery, average at best. He's a good number 3, number 4, but he is no more worth than what Snell is worth. Monty might be worth 130 million tops. For a guy who's a number 3 or number 4, that's still quite a bit. But for both of them to be asking for that amount of money is asinine. And Scott Boras has done his clients 0 favors this year, and he shot them all in the foot. That's why it took so long to get what's his name, Chapman and Bellinger signed.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about that, and it hasn't changed, and I would not be surprised if they signed midseason.
Yeah.
Welcome
and I'm with
Jigga.
my guy Celso Porto. We got Uncle Tats. We got Mikey Mazda. We got NFE. It's Mazda's birthday. I told you to come in here.
Hey, happy birthday, Mazda. I can't hear a single thing any of you say, but I will say, I don't know if you saw my comment earlier. When you asked him that question, he started talking about give Soto the moment, give him the mystique. I was like, fucking Lord of the Rings prequel, bro. That shit was so good.
I appreciate that.
Juan Soto, you're a Castillo.
But boys, I gotta run. Thank you so much for having me on.
Happy birthday, man.
Good to see you, Maza.
Happy birthday, Maza.
Love you, Mazda.
All right,
In
boys.
the bathroom?
Have a good one.
No, that guy Celso, I love him to death. He is a clown.
Is he in his
Shout out
closet,
to Mike.
Yeah,
No. That's the exit to the room. I'm in my room right now in the Airbnb. That's the hallway to the.
Oh, you got a whole house. All right. Okay.
Yeah. With a guy like Jigga.
My anxiety
I'm so jealous.
is through the roof. I've become a heavy drinker. I've been working out at like 2:00 in the morning just to relieve all the stress out of my system. No. It's been awesome being down here with Celso, being down here with Phil, and just meeting up with different Yankee fans. It's been amazing. I'm going to meet up with Frank Lana at the Yankees minor league complex around like 12:30, 1:00. So I'm going to leave probably the stream going off to about like 12:10 before I got to run out of here and jet out of here to go link up with Frank Luna. But NFE, want to get your take on the Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery conversation.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that these 2 guys are still free agents, and I'm shocked, honestly. And nobody's gonna give that kind of money, especially to Blake Snell at 31. At 31, nobody. I don't know about you guys. I don't want a pitcher till he's 40. I don't. You know? especially at that age. If he was 25, then you know what? Yeah, maybe we could have a conversation. But at this point, I don't care if they're not signed. And I think the Yankees have probably moved on from those guys. I mean, I'm willing to assume that, but Boris is not doing his clients any favors, and he's doing them all of them a disservice. So, this is on Boris, and what I'm going to say to that, and get ready, Uncle Tats, is go kick rocks.
Yeah, I'm right with you, NFP. When it comes to Scott Boras, I think the owners are tired of his game, right? Is he's a one-trick pony. And in this offseason, he saw the massive contract Shohei got. He saw the massive contract that Yamamoto got. But the thing that Scott Boras didn't realize is that the clients that he had weren't close to what those guys are when it comes to potential and when it comes to what they are when it comes to Ohtani, I should say. Yamamoto, his age and potential. Yamamoto, Shohei, because he's already a superstar. Blake Snell, 2-time Cy Young winner, injury concerns, never pitched more than 180 innings in a season, only twice in his year. Jordan Montgomery, same thing. He had one great season. He doesn't have a big track record. Cody Bellinger, injury concerns when it comes to Cody Bellinger. Matt Chapman hasn't been the same Matt Chapman when it comes to his offense since he left Oakland. So he thought his guys were going to get massive contracts when they weren't even that good compared to the guys that did get that massive contract. And I'm going to say this right now. When it comes to Jordan Montgomery may be this era or this decade's version of Jeff Suppan, who was with the St. Louis Cardinals, who made a World Series run, and in the offseason got a big contract and never duplicated what he did after that amazing year. Go ahead, Tats.
Yeah, no, I think Montgomery actually got hurt by the World Series ring, like you just said. If the Rangers did not make the World Series, Monty has a home right now.
Facts.
It upped his value in his agent's eyes, not baseball's eyes. And it's no disrespect to Monty. He's a great pitcher. He's an asset to anybody that ends up grabbing him. But I think that Boris is making the mistake of overvaluating his clients. And I had said on my channel, I'll let your audience hear it now. Boris is forgetting one thing. If his players aren't signed, he doesn't get a commission. So he can't keep turning down every offer because it's not what he wants. The market is dictating that the price for pitching at this stage has gone down. So if he wants his commissions on these contracts, he's got to actually agree to one of them to get it.
Yeah. And Scott Boras gets paid from the overall length of the contract when it comes to the money.
True.
Right. So the Scott Boras wants his client taking a 3 or 4 year deal that equals to 125, 150 million, or does he want his client to get an 8-year deal that is over 200 million? He will get more money with the $200 million deal. So all these negotiations, yes, he's supposed to get his players the best contract. But at the end of the day, Scott Boras is worrying about one person and one person only, and that is Scott Boras when it comes down to it. Folks, we're just going to do one more last round before we get out of here. NFE, I'll throw it over to you because I know you most likely got a dip right now. But spring training, right? We here. Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery. I think this Yankees starting rotation, we're okay with what we got going into the season. I definitely see the team actually making a trade at the trade deadline, or one of the young kids being called up. Will Warren, Chase Hampton, Clayton Beater. Where do you sit on the on the starting rotation? How do you figure it will play out this year? And then throw it over to TC and then Uncle Tats, and we'll wrap things up.
All good, man. I appreciate it. As far as the starting rotation goes, I think the Yankees are going to roll with what they have. I don't envision them signing any of the free agents. I think that's done. That's in the past. As far as trading for one, again, probably not going to happen. I would say there's a more likely chance that they trade for one than signing for one. Should they look for something, or if they are looking for another pitcher. I mean, I wanted to mention this whole thing with Snell. They should have just. He should have just accepted. The Yankees were the only team to make an offer to him, and he turned down both offers. So whatever, that's on him. His loss.
Yeah.
So no, the Yankees will roll with what they have. Then they'll reevaluate at the deadline, see if any changes need to be made. Will Warren's going to get called up, right? Should an injury occur, which I hope to God it doesn't. Will Warren is ready, so he'll get plugged in. I think he will. I like what I'm seeing from Will Warren. Let's bring him up. Let's see what this kid is made of. I was talking with Dane Huber about Will Warren, and I like a lot of the stuff that I heard from him, and he's looked good in spring training.
Yeah.
So I think at the deadline, I could see maybe the Yankees trading for another starter, potentially, but I could also see them trading for a closer too. Potentially. I can definitely see that happening. I know Clay Holmes is going to be our closer. I hope I hope he does well. I want him to do well, of course. But I think the Yankees are, as of right now, they're done making any like big or significant moves. I think they'll make a few small moves.
Yeah.
But then they're going to roll with what they have again with their rotation. Then reevaluate at the deadline and see what needs to be done.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you, NFE. Uncle Tats, I'll throw it over to you to get your take, and then throw it over to TC as well, and we got to wrap things up and get ready to head out.
Yeah, I like the way that the rotation is looking. Despite the question marks, it's the spring. Let's see how it all plays out when the games count. Like I said, a full spring training from Rodon is nothing to complain about. I think Cortez is showing that he's healthy and he's back. Schmidt is looking really good. It looks like he's picking up right where he left off from the end of last year. So I have no issues with the rotation. Stroman's a gamer. He's a baller. He's a New Yorker. There's nothing that's going to phase him. He's going to be fine. My concerns are the bullpen. I think that's going to be where we're going to see the holes being plugged into. How is Holmes responding to the struggles from last year, and how does he reinforce some confidence in the fan base that when he gets the ball, we're not looking to turn the TV off. That's going to be the issue. So I think if they do have to make any moves with a free agent that's out there, I think it's going to be more likely a trade.
Yeah.
It would be for the back end of the bullpen, not so much the middle or the long man. But we still do need somebody to replace Michael King.
Yeah.
So it's going to be. I'm curious to see who they're going to put that trust into for that spot start without throwing off their routine.
I just want to let people know, because I know some people, Chris N in the chat. Shout out to my brother Chris N, always putting out good chats and good content. But Chris put it in the chat, Tommy Kahnle, and I know some Yankee fans, Tommy Kahnle may start the season slow on the IL. Good news is I saw Tommy Kahnle yesterday in the practice field, running back and forth, doing some sprinting, workout exercise right next to Giancarlo Stanton, and also he was throwing as well. So Tommy Kahnle is already back to his throwing program, and I saw him on the practice field, and he looked good running around. I'll throw it over to you, TC, right now. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I agree with the Tats and NFE. The starting rotation is they're going to go with what they have, and I don't have any concerns with of course Garrett Cole. My only concern is Rodon at this point, just because of last year and what we're seeing so far. But no panic button yet. Stroman's a gamer. I like Clark Schmidt. Nestor Cortez will be back. We got a lot of depth. What we forgot to mention is we have Luke Weaver, we have Cody Poteet, we have Luis Hill. We have three other guys that could very well step in, as well as Will Warren, Clayton Beater, maybe a Chase Hampton, but they have a lot of guys. And Tats was trying to figure out who would be the Michael King role. Maybe Cody Poteet. I mean, he looks great. He looks good out there.
He looks good. And I said it yesterday that Cody
looks
Poteet
legit.
He could be this spring's version of Ian Hamilton, TC. Go ahead.
As well. He could be. And the bullpen is a little bit concerning with the injuries, Efros, Kahnle, and Trevino. But, there's always time to bring in another guy. But I don't think we're at the, big free agent pickups. that's gone. But offensively as well, we probably have one position open on the bench. They're probably going to play out the rest of the spring to see who can fill the role. I know Peraza's dealing with some injuries, but I honestly think he might end up going down to AAA, and they'll pick up some like an Elvis Andrews or someone like that's out there to be that veteran bench presence. I think that's what we miss, and we need somebody like that off the bench. So, but everything's pretty much set. I'm not concerned. I'm ready for the season to start. I want to see this lineup, produce. I'm just dying to see the offense come together. And the pitching will fall in its place. And, excited. You guys, thanks for, coming on, Tats, NFE, and Maza in the chat. It's been phenomenal. And Hector with his shades, man, I love it. I'm jealous. I wish I could be out there with you guys. But hey, there he is. There's the real Hector.
I'm not going to lie. I took the shades off and an instant brightness. I felt like when you leave the club and the sun is out, that's what I felt like just now. I was like, holy crap, the room is so bright now. Oh my God! I can actually see Uncle Tats in his setup. I couldn't see him in his setup before I took the shades off. But I want to say just one thing, right? When it comes to the season, whether you're a content creator, whether you're a Yankee fan, or whether you're a fan on another team, just enjoy what's in front of us, right? Don't look ahead. Don't try to gas yourself up or set yourself up for disappointment. Learn from the Yankees. We were disappointed not getting Yamamoto. We were disappointed not getting Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. Just enjoy what you have in front of you. This season, I know I'm already mentioned it, but Monday through Friday, we're going to host Twitter Spaces at nighttime, around like 12 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, more of like a Yankees post game after like everybody else goes off, but it's just to cover the Yankee game. Everybody's invited, right? The Twitter Spaces you don't have to show your face. You can just hop on with a phone. You don't have to have a camera set up or anything like that. So I'll be having whoever want to join me is more than welcome to join. We may do our first one as a test run later on tonight. So if you're following us on Twitter, make sure you follow me, Yanks Morning Brew and Morning Brew Sports on Twitter. So that way you can get the notification for the Twitter space. I'll send the link to Tats, to Maza, NFE, TC. And if you guys are free later on that night at midnight or 11 o'clock, we're going to kick it and we're going to talk some Yankees. And I think that's another way of bringing in more Yankee fans into the conversation. We got over 180 people right now rocking with us. Majority of that is on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, please click the link in the bio. Jump on over to YouTube. Uncle Tats, I love you, Unc. Appreciate you. NFE, I appreciate you. I love you, my brother. TC Steels as well. And again, make sure you follow Uncle Tats. Make sure you follow NFE. Make sure you follow TC Steels. Last words for me, fellas. I'll throw it over to you, NFE, and then Tats, and then we gone.
Yeah, no, real quick. I wanted to say this, and I've said this many times. Like, you guys, each content creator, whether it's you guys, Jason, whoever it may be, like you guys all inspired me to start doing this. And then, I jumped on my first.
I love Brad. I love it. I love it. I love it. Keep it coming, too. Brad.
Oh my God!
No matter where I go, he's there.
Yeah. Oh, he's everywhere, man. He's everywhere. But no, you guys have all inspired me to, start this. I remember my very first open panel I jumped on. It was actually with Jason from 161. And then, I jumped on with you, Hector. I do remember that. I do remember the very first time I did. That was awesome. And then Uncle Tats gave me an opportunity to co-host with him that one day. So, each of those things, like it remains a memory up here. I do remember all those moments. And it was finally Uncle Tats was like, I don't know why you don't have your own channel. I'm like, you know what? The hell with this. I'm gonna do the damn thing. So here I am right now doing it. So thank you guys. And the Yankees are, guys, don't panic. Like I think they're going to be fine. And I was also looking at the chat real quick. Anna Marie was talking about being shy. Anna Marie, trust me when I say this, I'm an introvert most of the time, but on stuff like this, I'm a little more outgoing. So let's get you on the open panel.
You NFE. I'm right there with you, NFE, when it comes to that. Hold on. I'm going to try something real quick. Give me 2 seconds. Just hold on. You're 2 seconds. My camera may disappear for 2 seconds.
Take your time. So, that's what I wanted to say. So, this is an awesome little community that we have here, and we all get to interact with each other. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all fans, and we give our takes and give our opinions on even if some of them are a little outrageous, but that's all good.
Yeah, we're all supportive of each other, and that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
100%. Yep. So, thank you guys.
All right, I'm gonna try to do this real quick. South Bell, where are you?
Hector on the streets. Hey, where's Phil? Where's Phil?
Look right behind me. We got.
I need Phil. I need some Phil Porto.
I can't hear Soto. Oh, what's up?
There you go.
I'm not sure if they can hear me. We got a pool table back there, though.
I hear you.
That's awesome.
Nice.
We got a crap ton of pizza because Celso ordered Uber last night and he hit the button by accident. We got 3 extra pies.
Wow.
But I love you guys. Appreciate you. Uncle Tat's last words, and we get out of here, brother.
Bro.
Yeah, my last word, because I wasn't on earlier when you guys were talking about with Soto. He's not going anywhere. Salicata and all, some of these Met fans that are just in a pipe dream.
Tell him, Tats.
Stop. Just stop. That's it.
Facts. And again, like always, make sure you drink your water. Make sure you say hi to your neighbor. Say something nice. Anna Marie is always in the chat blessing us. Appreciate you, Anna Marie. Appreciate you. Michael Caputo's in the building. Sean Brown is in the building. I love the rivalry that Brad Jewis and Uncle Tat has, because this is one of the rivalries of all ages. I don't know which rivalry it's more wicked, Napoleon or Christopher Columbus. Those are the rivalries that I'm trying to watch. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we out. Deuces.